I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all. In the afterglow, in the afterglow. Whoa! It all started with the passion, it all sounded like a dream. Remember how you kept on laughing, now you're trapped in your own skin. The anxiety growing.
It is a hot night where we are living. It's also a hot night in Cleveland as we are here for the night before SummerSlam. It is the Smackdown Security Detail with Chris Best and not OMD yet, but one Bubba Duke. Bubba,
That's
how are
right,
you
buddy.
doing, brother?
Not bad at all, man. Glad I made it home in time to join you in Cleveland tonight, my friend.
Cleveland rocks. It's a homecoming episode tonight as Logan Paul, we already seen him coming into the arena, has his homecoming tonight. But I called this show a homecoming face-off because of who's making their way to the ring on my screen right
I'm
now.
a little bit behind.
That's why I didn't say who's coming out.
Oh, Leeds is here. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I'm looking at the my shit might be frozen. Oh no, there we go. It just flipped over. I'm gonna make my screen bigger. Cody Rhodes is making his way to the ring, people.
Yeah, and he's got himself a face-off with the man he's defending that WWE Championship against tomorrow night, one Solo Sikoa.
Yeah,
And
right.
speaking of tomorrow night, programming note, guys, because of my personal stuff, we are doing a PLE patrol.
Nice. I can tell you I will not be here.
Oh, so I'm
hitting the road.
I'm doing it on my own tomorrow because I have no OMD. Parrish is not even in the country, and Carl is doing a shoot job.
Yeah. Yep. And I got called out to do. I won't be home till Wednesday night at the latest.
Well, actually, I may reach out to the Bulkster about joining and see if he wants to do it.
I'm pretty sure that would be a fine thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
His is all depending on how he's feeling that day. I wish I could, but yeah, I got called out to do the shoot job.
But no, it was a scorch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, work always comes first. But like I was trying to say, it was a scorcher out there. I made the executive decision. I literally mulled this all day, but I made the executive decision to go and buy me a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper today.
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah. I also picked up, so Dr. Pepper is Carl's most favorite drink. It's not my most favorite drink. My most favorite drink is sparkling ice. It's
okay.
It's sparkling water. For those who don't know, they come in bottles that look like wine coolers, but they're not.
They do, yeah. It's not something I can drink because of it just has a weird flavor to me. A weird, like fizzy. It just I look at it and my brain thinks water, and then I drink it and it's not water. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, the next bottle I go to open up, I'll show you. These ones look more like juice to me, and that's what I thought it was when I first opened up, and then I got the fizz. I'm like, okay, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, the fizz throws me off. on those. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than drinking a pop, but because it looks like this, like a normal glass of water to me, that's what throws me off.
Has Parrish been deported? We'll say he's been deported. He's been deported to North Kakalaki, North Carolina. But this particular one that I drank here, because I drank this before the show while I was doing my new set deck behind me here.
Nice.
It's lemon lime, and I was disappointed in it.
Whoa.
So I'm like, I might have been I might have been just drinking Sprite with this, with this one.
Right. So Cody and Solo Sikoa have a face-to-face here right off the bat, but it's just Cody on the mic right now. No Solo right now.
I didn't catch what he had said, but I heard him just call Solo out. So,
yeah. Like, I know I'm a second or two behind you, but that's okay because I know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
There, he just called him out now.
Yeah.
We knew this was coming because it's been advertised like for the last week.
Dude, my socials have been flooded with this moment.
Mine too. And you're more in depth in the whole wrestling social media than I am, and I've been flooded with it. I don't have a whole lot of. Oh, he's coming out solo, like totally by himself. Okay.
Yeah, but
watch your back.
See, this is what I put in my description. Does Cody have an ace up his sleeve?
He does. Yes. Thank you, Leeds. I'm a bit behind as I had some time off work. Okay.
That's cool. No, to beat the heat for the last 2 days, I went and got some sparkling ice.
Yeah.
Cold, actual bottled cold water, which I got free from Ontario, from the welfare agency here in our town.
Yeah.
Then yesterday, because yesterday was the worst day, as you may or may not know.
Oh, I know.
I made the decision. I'm like, screw this. I'm going to my grocery store and I'm buying those big tubs of ice cream.
Oh, bro. I don't even have money to do that right now.
I had to put aside money for that because I had to spend some money for tomorrow night's PLE intro. I had to spend money because of the fact that CM Punk is not a part of the vanilla version of 2K24. I had to buy the CM Punk DLC.
Dude, that sucks.
It actually really doesn't because I got Sandman and the Dudley Boys in the DLC pack too.
Dude, that's awesome. Why did?
Oh, and Terry Funk. Terry Funk was in that pack too. By the way, when Solo came out, he totally stole Gunther's look. By the way, with that
that
coat.
jacket, yeah. If someone's got the spinner title in the background, when they go back to hard cam, he's literally like right in front of Solo, about 3-4 rows back. Oh no, now he's behind him somewhere. He's in that area anyway. He's got a big spinner rim. It was kind of title. It was really cool. So I sent a little montage that a fan put together about how these two storylines are going to end up leading into War Games in Vancouver. with. Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. With The Rock coming back and Solo recruiting the last Samoan that's in. I think he's in MLW or he's somewhere anyway.
Hikuleo, you're talking about?
Yeah, Hippolea. Yeah,
He's coming from New Japan.
New Japan. That's where he is. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
To kind of trip up Jey Uso and all those guys that are going to be with Roman Reigns, the OG bloodline, we're calling it. Do you see any of that prediction that I sent to you coming to the screen at all? Like,
well, that video is actually something that Parrish OMD and I have been talking about off screen as well. We've talked about the idea, but we can't figure out exactly who the fifth member would be for that War Games, as far as like on Roman Reigns' side of things would go.
right? Because right now it'd be what? It'd be Roman Reigns, the Usos, and they're saying Sami Zayn's going to get dragged into it.
Yeah, because it already looks.
Who's going to be the fifth one? Right?
Yeah,
like that's where I was taking it,
and that's where. Because The Rock just finished up filming his movie right now.
Yes.
However, this is the one thing that OMD forgot to talk about. When you finish a movie, when you're a big star, the first thing you do is you go out promoting it. So
publicity tour.
You go to David Letterman. You go to Jimmy Fallon. You do the night stuff. You do the red carpets. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those take several months before the movie is even released, you know.
But again, The Rock is kind of whoa.
Whoa.
Here comes Fatu.
I just looked up and saw Tonga Loa making his way to the ring.
I just see Fatu. Oh, there comes the other one right there. Okay. Yeah. I see him now. Wow.
I like how they're all suited up, with the exception of Jacob Fatu.
Oh, okay. So listen, the fifth person. Okay, speculation. Okay, total speculation. Who's crazy enough to take on Fatu?
Well, Kevin Owens would be, in my opinion.
This gentleman I'm talking about isn't even in WWE right now. I'm talking one Dean Ambrose making a return for his friend, his brother in arms from the Shield, making that call. Brother, I need you to take care of this guy because you're the only one I know that can take a beating and keep on going.
There's just one problem.
How would you feel about that? I know
I think
contracts and shit, but how would you feel about it?
I would honestly be excited because
okay,
I love Jon Moxley. He was my reason for watching AEW before he decided to bleed every match.
You and me both, my friend. Keep going. I hear you.
If he does come back, I would want him to come back with that Wild Thing entrance he does, because there's just something about that song when he comes to the ring that just gets me pumped when I watch him, you know.
From the first note that I hear of that, my hair stands up. I get goosebumps. I get emotional, like physically and emotionally. Like there's something. But yeah, I know there's contracts and there's things that need to be worked out and blah blah blah. I get there's details and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
I would be pumped if he came back.
I'm pretty sure there's like a year left on his AEW deal. So,
but at the same time, Trips is a pretty convincing dude to say, listen, what's he owing his contract? What do you like? Blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, here's the money for that. He's mine now. I could see Trips doing it to get that storyline together for Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn and have the last guy, the surprise, come out of nowhere like Randy Orton did, and have Dean Ambrose show up. As I would prefer to see him come over as John Moxley, keep the whole gimmick, the whole 9 yards, because everybody knows who he is. We're not stupid. But that would be epic.
We
have
also
him show up.
But at the same time, we do have another former Shield member on the Raw roster that could join sides with Roman. That being Seth Rollins.
But
Seth is he's kind of spun off onto his own thing, and
he has
the Shield is kind of like far behind him, and he also cost Roman the title at WrestleMania.
Yes, that too. Yes. Yes. I was just gonna say, do you really see that Roman, Seth Rollins being able to trust each other to a certain degree? Yes, but to the ultimate degree, no.
Yeah, because in the end, I mean, if I'm Roman, I'd be pissed off that Seth cost me the title.
Seth cost me the title, yeah.
Or Seth was one of the ones that cost him the title.
He was involved in it regardless, and there's already a history of bitterness between these two gentlemen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of that being said, wouldn't it be funny as a plot twist, as a, oh shit, didn't see that coming? What if this gentleman that's standing in the ring holding a title backed up Roman Reigns?
That's the other thing I thought about too.
Because there's no bad beef there. There's no bad blood. It was literally the end of their feud. Cody walked away with the title. Roman got time off because he needed it. Why wouldn't Cody be like, hey, listen, bygones are bygones, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You need me. I'm here for you. That's what champions do. Because you got to think too, is Roman SmackDown or is he Raw?
See,
he's neither.
That's where I was getting at, and that's what I've been trying to tell OMD all week. I've been trying to tell him that, because he seems to forget that the wording was, if you aren't drafted, you're a free agent.
And who's not drafted out of people that we know right now?
Roman
Reigns,
Charlotte
CM
Flair.
Punk, Charlotte Flair.
Punk was drafted to Raw, actually.
He actually got drafted to Raw now?
Yeah.
Okay, so last I heard, he was neither.
Yeah,
so thank you for the information.
He signed off some time ago.
What's going on here?
Well, it's Andrade coming to the ring.
I just got the bright lights. Another gentleman that I wish I could find somehow, somewhere, matches of him with his mask on before he decided to take it off.
I'm gonna go data here for a second because I'm trying to remember which promotion he worked in, so you could help him, or to help you find him. Because I know that he came from Mexico before he came here.
No, I knew that. I just wasn't sure if it was AAA or where. Android. Anyway, very, very good wrestler. I wish they would do more with him instead of having a mid-card.
Google, you are a dumbass. I type Andrade. I type Andrade El Idolo, his full name, and it gives me Simone Biles.
There you go. Google at its finest.
Yep.
There's another match I can't wait to watch. Do we think Gunther takes that heavyweight title?
Oh yeah, Gunther's taking that title. I think he's going into Bash in Berlin at the end of the month as the conquering champion.
Okay,
that's what I'm calling it.
I'll be honest. What I'm hoping for, is Gunther doesn't win this match because of some shenanigans, we'll say. Okay, and when we go to the Bash at Berlin, that's where I want him to win that title. I want him to win the title. Sorry, say that
again. I lagged out.
Okay. So I don't want him winning at SummerSlam. I want some kind of shenanigans to happen to where something, I don't care what happens. Anything could happen. And both men, being gentlemen that they are, they say, listen, Bash at Berlin's coming. I want that title shot in a cage. So there's no interference.
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a Hell in a Cell match, but whatever, so nobody can interfere. And that's where he wins that heavyweight title, is back home. How much more sweet would that be? How much more louder would that crowd be? Him getting the title at home and not just walking in with the title.
How much more louder would the crowd be with my scenario? He's going in with the title, defending against Ilya Dragunov, who is from Germany.
I mean, they're technically both German as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Austria and Germany are both one and the same.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, both scenarios, don't get me wrong, both scenarios are going to kick ass. Regardless.
And with the Ilya Dragunov, you can play off the injury angle from a couple weeks ago when Gunther injured him on the ringside there. But I found the promotion he worked for, because again I couldn't remember. It was CMLL.
Okay. If you have a link or something, copy and send it.
Yeah.
Be easier. Thank you. But that's, what is it, like his last match he wrestled? Or there's a bunch of them there?
Well, I Wikipedia'd him, but I'm gonna.
Nice.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna type in his wrestling name, because I'm guaranteeing I'm gonna find his wrestling name from CMLL. So.
Okay, cool. But yeah, either way that scenario works out, I think the fans are going to eat it up regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he's walking in with a title or goes there and wins said title. Either way, the European crowd is nothing like any of us have ever heard, period.
Oh, I know. It's
like the European fans are hungry for real wrestling, and that's what they're getting now with Triple H at the helm of creative and everything that he's doing. Like, they're trying to get WrestleMania, bro, in London, England.
Yeah, I actually...
outside of North America. Like, that's epic.
Whoops.
I don't care who you are. That's craziness. That's...
Hey, look,
that's
there's
awesome.
There's our run-in. Do I need to change this up at all?
No.
Add yourself whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Already done, brothers. How we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing good. I'm trying to search for something for Bubba here, because I'm going data mode on him.
I am just happy to be home for the night, and then I'm back tomorrow night.
So Bubba, I found a match right away that I'm going to send you. It involves also Mystico, who used to wrestle in AEW or WWE as
Sin Cara.
Why is his name escaping me?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Sin Cara.
That's why his name escapes me, because he botches all the time in the ring. In a WWE ring, I should say. But
see, I think the reason that was such an issue for him was they were putting so much restriction on him as the guy's a luchador. The guy likes to be a high flyer.
Yeah.
The guy likes to do his thing. And then they went, nope, this is the little box you have to stay in now. Too bad.
Here's the other thing, and Stone Cold can attest to this because I've heard him tell stories about this.
Okay.
But he said the change from wrestling in a WCW ring to a WWF ring was completely different. It screwed with him mentally for like a few months.
It's
Sin Cara, right? Yeah. Sin Cara coming up from Mexico, the rings are pretty much similar to what WCW's rings were.
Okay.
And
timing gets turned off then, eh? Like,
yeah, his timing was completely off.
WCW ring smaller by a little bit than WWE?
Yes, and when you're running the ropes like that extra, because WCW rings were 18, I believe, and WWE's are 20s, if I'm not mistaken.
They were. WWE has shrunk their rings again.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. They had to go. Yeah, they had to go back to 18s to a lot for War Games.
Regardless, that is information I didn't know. I thought they were 24, to be honest.
No,
they started off at 15s, then they boosted up to 18, then up to 20 by 20, then back to 18. And I believe it's War Games still, they use the 15s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they seem a lot smaller than these ones.
So,
regardless, thank you for sending me that link. Appreciate that. I'll check that out.
So OMD, you already missed the Cody solo face-off.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I was expecting that to be the main event.
It was just them promoting on one another, and
yeah, nothing huge.
They sort of got into it. Solo backed out and told his boys not to get involved because they tried to.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we discussed whether Gunther is going to walk into Bash at Berlin with the title, or there's going to be shenanigans at SummerSlam, and then they're going to have a rematch. Is he going to win that title in Berlin?
I'm going with him winning in Berlin.
That's what I'm hoping, but either scenario is not going to be a bad deal, really.
No.
Yeah,
it's because you can't go wrong.
Because, well, OMD, you already know my scenario. He goes in and is defending against Ilya because Ilya, we're going to do an injury angle, an injury return storyline with Ilya, I believe. And I think he comes back this Monday.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
And lays out the challenge for Gunther, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that would be. I personally, both either way you go with it is going to be epic.
Yeah.
I
mean, it would just be nice to have him win.
See, I think we get Kaiser back on Monday.
Ooh.
For him to lead to Bash in Berlin.
What if we get? I know Vinci's been moved over to SmackDown, and I'm going to assume that Bash in Berlin. Bash in Berlin is going to be co-branded, obviously.
Yes.
I think I'm ready to see Vinci come back. Maybe Vinci comes back and gets revenge on Kaiser, and we have a cross-brand match between the two of them.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Because it's been a minute since we had a Raw versus SmackDown match.
Yep. I did receive a photo from a friend of mine today who just so happens to be at the Rocket Mortgage Arena tonight for SmackDown.
No way.
And good evening, John. Thank you. And yes, you tell my nephew that I say hello as well.
How's it going, John? If we're going to flash his comment up here.
And yes, he will be at SummerSlam. He got a figure, a photo op, and an autograph from $1 Million Man today.
Oh, nice.
And got to do the laugh with him.
Dude, that's awesome.
For 120.
I am fucking jealous.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
OMD knows that $1 Million Man is my most favorite heel ever.
How can he not? Well, I mean, aside from a couple other ones, he's definitely up there for me as well.
Him and Honky Tonk Man are my two most favorite heels ever.
I can see Honky Tonk, but if I'm going to go with my favorite heels of all time, I got to go with my two favorites in HBK and Edge.
There you go.
Right.
Mr. Perfect, Eddie.
You know what I was going to say, but my favorite guy who's always been a heel is Ted DiBiase, but actually there was a time where he was babyface.
Yes. Very brief. Mine, if I had to literally be Eddie Guerrero would be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Jake the Snake would be number two. And then, Ted DiBiase's like my third in that area. Yeah.
Yeah. No word of a lie, because Ted's been like in every WWE 2K game since they switched over to 2K. He's the first guy I go after for unlocking when I raise money. So
right.
Raise in-game money, I say.
No. I need to.
Yeah. And speaking of figures, OMD, I think you noticed I'm doing a little bit of set deck behind me here.
Yep.
I have, you're not going to like the name of the figure I have, but I think it's still pretty cool regardless. Unmatched Fury, Rob Van Dam.
Nice.
This thing is a collector's item.
Yes, it is.
Right now. Inbox, mint condition.
Nice.
But right now, we have ourselves a really entertaining match between Andrade and Carmelo going on right now.
Well, right now I'm getting a commercial for the Blue Jays and Yankees.
It's coming up, dude. I just got back as he was saying that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how do we see this match going then? Do we see Carmelo getting his second main roster win?
I was gonna say, did Andrade beat him the last time they met, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with Mello and say he gets his win back.
Okay. Yeah, because Mello has only won once, I believe, on the main roster.
I think you are correct.
Right, and here's the thing, though: his losses really haven't been hurting him.
No, they haven't.
Nor have the losses that Andrade has had since going over to SmackDown have hurt him.
Right.
Which is unusual, but a good, I guess you can say.
Yep.
And OMD, for just so you know, these are the old SmackDown Tag Team titles behind me, the foam versions. And the reason they're up today, because I'm pretty sure Bubba doesn't know, we have 2 tag team title matches tonight.
Yes, we do. We have Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn versus Bianca and Jade.
Yep, for the women's tag belts.
And then we've got DIY versus the Bloodline.
Yep. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, because Tonga Loa is selling an eye injury. And to be fair, when he comes out wearing a suit with the eye patch, he makes me think of like a Samoan Barney Stinson.
Okay. All right.
And it's only because I've been binge watching How I Met Your Mother again on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And I just the other day watched the episode where
if I'm gonna go with a guy with an eye patch, I gotta go with a Samoan Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Okay. But I'm going to draw some comparison. And the only reason I'm thinking Barney Stinson is because of the fact that Tama Tonga is always suited up when he's not wrestling. Barney always suits up when he's going to go hit on chicks in the TV show. The episode I watched the other day was one where he tried to convince him and Ted to wear eye patches so they can go and hit on girls and say they got bit by snakes in the eye out in Central Park, which Central Park doesn't have snakes to begin with.
Right.
We got 2. I've got the men them battling on that rope right now. Superplex on its way by the looks of it.
John coming in saying the best part about Barney's character is that Neil Patrick Harris is in fact gay in real life.
Yeah, and he actually had his husband appear on the show. Actually, all of their spouses appeared on the show.
Yep.
At some point or another. With the exception of Josh Radnor, who plays Ted, because he was single while they were doing that show. And I think Marshall was at the time, too.
That was an amazing superplex.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to see that. OMD, it was picture perfect.
Yes, it was.
So we've got our pal Scott Stanford promoting Canadian events here. And he's promoting SummerSlam, first of all.
Yes.
I wonder how fast he starts promoting War Games.
Right? I was going to say. And speaking of War Games, I did send that info to our friend, one Fozzie McQueen, a.k.a. Ryan Carlella.
Well, he's I'm stumbling in my words a little bit here. He's in that neighborhood, essentially.
Yes. And he said he would see what he can do because he is likely going to Vegas in the spring.
Sounds about right.
Is that dude ever home, by the way? Because I feel like every time he's posting pictures, he's on vacation somewhere.
He literally has the good life. You should see his belt collection.
Jesus, right?
And the only time I do see him at home is when he's doing Energy Rock Radio. So
Right. Right. And that's where like our guest guy that came in right at the end of the PlayStation Showcase Pinches came from.
You just reminded me. I got to go onto the onto a YouTube studio and check the numbers on that show, because once again, our shorts are getting hits off of it.
Yeah, nice. So, Bubba, I want to ask: are you feeling better than you were the other night?
Yeah. That's why I'm
Good.
here.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, John posing an interesting question. Was WCW better than WWF, and why or why not? I think in some cases their talent was better than what WWF had at the time.
At which time, though, because there's different scenarios you can talk about with WCW and WWF here. You know?
Absolutely. Like, I know for me when, and I'm going to use a prime example, was before he got into really being a wrestler and into his title runs, I got to take DDP. I thought he would have excelled in WWF at the time where WCW was holding him back. As well, like two of my favorites were the tag team of Vicious and Delicious, Scott Norton and Buff Bagwell.
That is such a deep dig for a tag team, though. Because
that's awesome.
My favorite tag team from WCW was Harlem Heat. I absolutely loved everything those guys did.
Right. And I mean, let's not forget the tag team of Thunder and Lightning.
That was that Scott Norton and Ice Train, right?
Yeah. But like, I love Scott Norton. I actually did try to secure an interview with him a number of years ago for Turnbuckle Talk, before it was Turnbuckle Talk.
Mm-hmm. So for me, there was a lot of I always drew a lot of comparison because I loved the fact that up here in Canada, we got Raw on Mondays, Nitro on Wednesdays. So it was just totally awesome that we could be like, okay, Raw did this. What can Nitro do that's better?
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of hit and miss moments, but in-ring wise, I'm going to compare in-ring. In-ring wise, WCW was better because they had Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Sting, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, who I'm going to be meeting in September. Even El Dandy, because who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Right. Even more importantly than that, they had Canyon. And who better than Canyon?
Nobody. And you know what? I should do some sound editing for that. Get a soundbite of Canyon saying "Who better than Canyon," and then get Mel Lastman, who owns Bad Boy Furniture in Toronto, doing the nobody that he used to do in his advertisements. I should do that.
The big thing that I found back then was a lot of copied storylines.
I found WCW did that a lot, and I mean a lot.
I even found WWE doing it when, if WCW had a success. I mean, let's draw the major comparison right there. The NWO was formed. All of a sudden, there's DX.
But there's two different things between the NWO and DX. DX wasn't invading anybody. NWO was. NWO was more militaristic, kind of stable, trying to take over everything. Right. DX was a bunch of teens telling you to suck it.
Yeah.
Or adult teens, I should say.
Yes.
Right.
Another phenomenal tag team that they had there, and including guys that WWF, I do believe, dropped the ball on.
Chronic.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, we got the figure 4 leg lock, boys.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry.
And
He's got that in
they
deep.
dropped the ball on Chronic as a tag team, but they also dropped the ball on both of those guys as singles wrestlers.
Here's the thing, though, and this is the thing that befuddles me. Yes, I use the word befuddle. I took a word from Joel Gertner, who said that. Who used to say that a lot. Both those men were like best friends with the Undertaker, so I kind of figured I kind of thought they would have had some kind of clout coming into the locker room, being that they were part of the Bone Street crew, the both of them.
Right?
And oh, okay, I was wrong on the finish. Now the problem with the NWO, and I agree with John here, the NWO was superior, but it got convoluted, very convoluted.
It got very diluted.
It did.
There were guys in there that didn't belong. Like IRS was in that group, and what?
Yep. As was
like
Ted DiBiase.
Right, but
Yep.
Ted DiBiase, that storyline made sense because he was brought in as the financial benefactor for the NWO.
Right.
He was a parody. He was supposed to come in sort of as a parody of Ted Turner.
Right. Who else was in that group that I was just like, why? Why are you here?
Masahiro Chono didn't make
Yeah.
sense when he was there.
Great
It wasn't
Muda.
Buff Bagwell part of that at one
Yes, he
point?
was.
But Buff made sense. Buff wasn't doing anything before he joined the NWO, and then suddenly he joins the NWO and he's a megastar.
Well, he was, but he had just turned his back on his American Males tag team partner, Scotty Riggs, to join the NWO.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're kind of a tag team again, working with DDP at DDP's rehab house there.
Yep. And yeah, you're right. Like the delusion of the NWO, and as well, just this. Well, let's just throw everybody into the NWO.
Yeah, because
what was left for the WCW roster.
It was like, okay, you turn heel, let's put an NWO shirt on you,
right?
And then they did the black and red wolf pack thing, and then
that's when I kind of noticed when they did that, they actually cut off a lot of the dead weight in the NWO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like everybody had to be a part of it and blah blah blah. Like,
yeah. So
it was cool when it was a few guys.
Leeds coming in saying, I guess he thought the Andrade Mello match was forgettable.
It wasn't. It wasn't. There was a lot of entertaining moments I found in that match.
Right.
A lot of cool stuff that they could do, but at the same time, I feel like they're building to something bigger between these two.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that, because this is the go home show to SummerSlam tomorrow.
Which, as I already announced our OMD earlier in the show, there is a PLE patrol tomorrow, and it is only going to be me, but I'm going to do it.
Right. Awesome. So you're looking at that. It was the go home show. It was, a simmering rivalry, so certainly not big enough for a SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they could have put a little more fuel on it by waiting until next week? Yes. Do I think that you could have maybe snuck this match onto Bash in Berlin as your opener to open up hot?
Okay, so this is something like I pointed this out on Monday, and it's actually been confirmed, but tomorrow's pre-show is now a 3-hour pre-show.
Wow.
Holy.
Why couldn't we have some pre-show matches? Maybe we will get them in a pre-show match tomorrow.
We might, but I highly doubt it. I think you're going to see a lot of significant, 20 and 30-minute breakdowns of the 7 matches. And because the other company is going to do their show at 5 p.m. Eastern, so that they're not competing with SummerSlam.
But in a sense, they still are.
They are, but I think WWE is going to be smart and not try and put anything up against that and just be like, yeah, you guys do your thing. We've got our show.
Are you talking to All Empty Wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to throw matches up. They're going to do something. WWE will, I mean, both companies are, and as much as I'm a supporter for WWE, I'm a supporter for wrestling as a whole. But wrestling is also a pretty petty sport at the same time.
It is. It is. And that's where, I look at, and I know I sent it to you. You look at what Joe Hendry is now allowed to do.
Yeah. Holy Christ. That's amazing. Bubba, if you don't know this, Joe Hendry has an exclusive TNA deal. He's still exclusively with them. But he is allowed to come to NXT, wrestle with them, and train with them at the Performance Center. He's allowed the same kind of full access NXT wrestlers or WWE wrestlers are allowed, and he's not even a contracted employee.
But does this stem from the fact that NXT is working with TNA? They're kind of, let's try it with him and see how it goes. If it works, we'll let more people come.
There is that aspect to it.
But it's also the aspect that he's super friggin' over with the world right now.
And he is allowed to go and do his independent shows.
Yeah. Talk about banking on one dude, right?
So
wow.
That would be like Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era being employed by WWE, but allowed to go work WCW as well.
I was going to say, are we now looking at Joe Hendry as that next focal point in wrestling, as the next like Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, as much as I hate to say it, Dwayne? Are we seeing Joe Hendry fall into that realm?
Yes, and we got Apollo Crews taking on Santos Escobar in the ring by the way.
Yes.
But yes, I do see that, and I think it's actually going to be a slower build than we think that they're doing right now. And by having Joe Hendry coming in and learning some of the WWE ways, and I've used this word all the time, but it just gives him that much more seasoning before they fully pull the trigger and put a world title on him.
Okay. I can get behind that. Get him as much experience before throwing him to the wolves, so to speak.
Speaking of wolves, there's the lone wolf, Baron Corbin at ringside.
I am going to say this. I do see Joe Hendry as probably being that first cross-brand promoted champion, and potentially holding both titles at the same time.
Yeah, I still firmly believe that he's the one that takes the belt off Ethan Page, possibly.
But I am going to go so far as to say this. Next Tuesday at the second half of the Great American Bash, I have the Rascals, or MSK, winning the NXT tag titles.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm just looking at the schedule for tomorrow. That's a full schedule, right from 1 p.m. to when SummerSlam's done.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I don't intend on streaming the entire thing, so
no. I mean, no. I'm just saying if you're there, like in Cleveland, there's from basically noon to.
Yeah, and then and let's not forget you've got WWE World
on the press conference afterwards too.
Yep.
So you're looking from 12 hours, really.
Everything kicked off today.
Yeah, basically what's somebody's pulling Corbin underneath the ring, and I can't tell who it is.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Oh,
Hang on, because I'm not there.
wait. I still can't tell who it is.
His toes underneath the thing there.
Okay, I know who it is. It was
Okay, I'm not there yet.
Well, it's one of Santos's boys, so it's obvious.
Oh, they had a whole. Oh, geez. Oh, I see who it is now. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm just
that
getting
shit makes
to that.
sense now. And they didn't pull him under the ring; they just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just Garza that slipped under.
Well, they were. Yeah, they were about to pull him under, but they were trying. He was trying to pull him under, but Corbin kicked him away.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Jade and Bianca have become more of a tag team by having the same style.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask this. When we go to War Games in Vancouver, and we are looking at a potential team, do we see Bianca, Jade, Naomi, and Bailey together going into War Games?
It's hard to say because, I mean, that's not bad because, I mean, you got 3 women with major star power. And then Naomi, who's also got her own bit of star power. And I'm not knocking her in any way, but Jade, Bianca, and Bailey are just bigger stars. But there's also the fact that they're pushing Michin as one of the top stars. Yep. So she very well could find her way in that match as well.
Okay. Oh, very interesting question here now from John again. Battle Royal, who wins in their prime? RVD, Jericho, Brett, Bam Bam, Scott Steiner, Ventura, Warrior, or Macho Man?
You got some massive egos in that match.
I think, you know what? I'm not a fan, but in this case, I'm going to take the guy that's just going to sit back in the corner. Dude, just chill out. I'm going to take RVD.
There's only 2. I'm looking at this list, and there's basically 2 people in this match who don't have an ego, and that's RVD and Bam Bam.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. Pick one.
Warrior was never good at Battle Royale, so I'm going to throw him over the top rope right now.
You almost made me spit my mouth out.
If I had to go with a legitimate pick, though, and I'm taking RVD just because he'd be sitting in the corner puffing away. But I would honestly take Big Papa Pump just for the Steiner math.
Just for the Steiner math.
Okay. I have a rough idea, but go ahead, Chris.
I'm going to go with Brett because of how far Brett can make it in Battle Royals and Royal Rumble style matchups. I mean, look at WrestleMania 2. He made it to the final 2. And granted, it was him and Andre, so he was done for by the time it came down to him and Andre.
Holy shit. I don't... It's hard to pick because I'm a Steiner guy. I'm a Bam Bam Bigelow guy. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to come down to those 2 guys in this. It's going to be Bam Bam and Big Papa Pump. And I really can't pick which one I want to win. But, damn, I'd have to go with Scotty because he has that determination to win when it comes to matches like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he takes it that extra level of intensity. So, yeah, there you go, buddy.
I'll actually never forget the only Royal Rumble Scott Steiner was in. He drew number 1. He didn't last long, but he drew number 1 against Samu of the Head Shrinkers. And for those 2 or 3 minutes before Rick came out to help Scott, those 2 beat the piss out of one another.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to like marquee matches, Scott Steiner was hands above the rest of them. Like that guy would literally give you his left leg in a match to make it look and feel that authentic that he's literally picking these 400-pound plus dudes up and tossing them around. Like, that's crazy. Crazy. That's why I said between him and Bam Bam, I don't know, because Bam Bam's a big dude and knows how to wrestle.
Yeah.
And Scott Steiner, well, it's just Scott Steiner. Like, enough said.
Yeah, but I mean, you can say the same thing about Macho Man, about Brett,
Right.
about Jericho.
Right? They
The
all
only
have
one
that.
for me that really didn't fit into that match was Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, but Jesse, if you watch some of his matches in the 70s, he was pretty damn good at Battle Royals.
Yeah.
Back in the day. The one, honestly, the 2 to 3 that don't belong in there for me would be RVD. Just never been an RVD guy.
Oh, it's time for the Logan Paul homecoming,
Yeah,
by the
nobody
way.
cares. And Ultimate Warrior, I wouldn't put him in that match at all. And yeah, the body. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but I just you know.
See, this was what I was expecting to open the show.
Didn't his brother just get his butt beat by Tyson?
No, that fight still hasn't happened.
Oh, when's that happen? Do we know? Do we remember?
It had to be rescheduled. Something happened to Tyson, I think it was.
I think it was just the other one poopy cuckied his pants.
No, Tyson got hurt in training or something like that.
Oh, I mean, he is in his 50s. Like, come on.
No, Tyson suffered an angina attack on an airplane.
That's great. They're not going to let him box.
I think this just gives them the opportunity to sell more tickets, to be honest.
Because they didn't meet their goal yet?
Oh, no, the event is actually sold out.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Was it sold out before the delay or?
Before. It's been sold
Okay.
out for a while now. I mean, it's Tyson. Anytime Tyson's on a card, or even if he's appearing at a card, it's going to sell.
I mean, true enough. If I had the ability to get there, I would have bought tickets. I'm not going to lie. Just to see Tyson fight, to say I've been there. It was his last fight. I was there. Yeah. All right. So what are we doing here? What's going on SmackDown with Meathead that doesn't deserve that title?
This is Logan Paul's homecoming ceremony.
I state that again.
This is Logan Paul's homecoming ceremony, as he is from Cleveland.
I know, dude. You weren't listening to me, though. I was yawning. Then I state that again.
I'm going to pose this
Go ahead.
as well. Do we get Alexa Bliss returning potentially to SmackDown tonight or at SummerSlam, as she is from Ohio?
She is from Ohio. Isn't she from not Cleveland, but the other place there, Cincinnati or something?
She's from Columbus.
Columbus. One of the damn C ones. If she comes back tonight, that would be cool. Carl's going to be upset that he missed it, but I don't know. Is LA Knight taking that title?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Get rid of this clown. I can't stand him.
Well, they're not getting rid of him. I mean, he's got a multi-year deal. And why would you get rid of a guy who's making you money?
I just want to see if he can make a run without a title.
He
And
can.
be as popular without that title.
He has.
Oh, I can't stand the guy, man.
I can't believe I'm actually defending him after the controversial statements he made on Twitter just a couple of days ago. And I'm not going to get into that because...
Nope. Don't need
Right.
to.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, the guy can go. I mean, when he doesn't have the belt, he is as over as anything and a fan favorite.
And that match with Roman for the for the undisputed title was just wow.
Yeah, I mean, anything he's done. I mean, you look at his matches with Seth, Ricochet,
The Miz,
yeah,
Dom, Ray.
anything he has done in that ring, he can go. He is a phenomenal talent.
I love the fact that because I was very cynical about him coming into the business because we have been burned time and time again with celebrities coming into the business who just don't care about being in the ring.
It's just a paycheck to them.
Yeah. But when I saw that first match, when him and The Miz took on Ray and Dom, I saw a guy who's actually getting it, you know? I saw a guy who took this as seriously as he needed to, you know?
I can admit he has put the work in. I have said that before.
Mm-hmm.
I give credit where credit is due. He has put his time in to learn the business. Yes. Oh, look at that. You. I don't know. I just don't like him because he's a celebrity and just who he is. I just don't like him.
That's understandable. I mean, because that's honestly, when it comes to celebrities involved in wrestling, that's how I feel about Donald Trump. I don't hate him because of his political aspirations or anything like that. I just
it has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
I was just never a fan of him.
Yeah. I feel that. This is how I am with him. Like you said, we've been so jaded about other celebrities just not caring.
Mm-hmm.
Again, yes, he has put the work in. He has done this and he has done that, and he's listening to people on how to do things. I don't like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure him and LA here are going to put on a hell of a banger of a match.
I'm calling it. It's my early contender for match of the night tomorrow night. So,
ooh, okay.
now here's something that we didn't cover on Turnbuckle Talk. Who opens the show tomorrow night?
Ooh, good question.
Well, I'm going to say we are opening with the host and Cleveland's own Miz, but I think your opening match is right here.
That would set the standard pretty high. Do you think everybody else could live up to that expectation?
I do.
Okay.
I say we open with one of the world title matches.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But, I mean, Cody Solo is closing it.
Hell yeah.
So the only other match I could see really as the opener, and I don't see Gunther wanting to do the first match of the night. The only other match that I could see opening the show outside of this would be
Punk and Drew,
Sammy
maybe?
and Braun.
Oh, Sammy Braun. That would be nice.
You could, because let's face it, there's 3 main events on this show on SummerSlam. The 2 world heavyweight titles and Punk and Drew are the 3 main events, guaranteed. You could open or close with either one of those 3 matches. And usually the way it is, if we have 2 world title matches, one of the world titles usually becomes the opener.
Yeah,
and that's just to start the show off with a massive bang, you know.
I hate to say it, but I think if you start off with the U.S. or Intercontinental title match, I don't even know what match would go second. I'm gonna say this, and I really don't want to put this match in this spot, but I think your number 4 match is Priest and Gunther.
Oh yeah, because you can do let's say Punk and Drew open up the show. Then you can do the middle of the match being Gunther and Priest, and then end the show with Solo and Cody. I see where you're going with that.
But I think you're going to see that match in the number 4. I think Punk and Drew is the second last match, and then you go with Cody Solo.
We got like Wish Brock Lesnar sitting behind Cody and Wade Barrett. Regardless, though, tomorrow's show, it's weird that every match is a single.
I love it. I love it. I
Match.
love it.
Tonight.
That was awesome. Literally, all we caught was every match single tonight. That was
Every
epic.
match tomorrow at SummerSlam. There is
Oh,
not a
every
single
match
tag
on
team
the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all bangers.
They are.
I wish.
Or do we
honestly,
open
I
with
could-
one of the women's? Or do we open with Rhea and Liv?
Holy
Dude, I totally
shit,
forgot
that'd
about
be-
that. So essentially, they're essentially, because the way they're promoting that as one of the top storylines on Raw too.
Jeez.
Right? Or do you
Good.
start off, and I hate to use this, or do you start off slowly to build, and do you open with Bailey and Nia?
Huh.
I gotta do some data work again because I'm trying to think of something that may revolve around SummerSlam history and Bailey.
Is it one of these she's opened every SummerSlam since she started?
That's what I'm trying to remember right offhand, or
That
since
would be
she's
funny.
returned from her injury. I mean,
And I mean, I know best, you know where I stand on this. Bubba, who do you have winning between Bailey and Nia?
Holy. That's hard for me because I absolutely adore Bailey, but Nia Jax has definitely been growing on me as far as like her wrestling ability and not hurting people. Damn, dude, you're gonna put that on me. Shoot. I think Bailey retains. Barely, but she retains.
Okay.
I just don't feel Nia is ready for the title yet.
See, I think I've got Nia winning.
Okay.
I actually had Tiffany Stratton coming out tomorrow night as the champion.
She's going to cash in.
I did.
Oh.
But I've thought about it. She's been doing this with Nia. She hasn't had a whole lot of in-ring even since Money in the Bank. So
Well, I mean-
I think trying to put the belt on her now would be rushing that, and when they can do the slow burn with her like they're doing with Lyra.
Well, doesn't
Raw.
she have the women's in the bank thing?
yeah,
He does.
So yeah, they can take their time with her, and then when they say, "Okay, yeah, you're ready. Here's the match you're going to cash it in on."
Yeah.
right. So what they're
Okay.
doing right now, though, and this is where, because I'm on the same track with OMD, because I think Nia wins the belt tomorrow night, but Tiffy doesn't cash in, because what they're doing on SmackDown right now between Tiffy and Nia is they're building like a best friend kind of angle between the two of them,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then
But
Tiffy.
could we also see, because they're
Can I
doing this-
finish my analogy first? So they become best friends for months and months, maybe till we'll say January or February. That's when Tiffy cashes in and becomes Tiffy, or the women's champion. you build this
Tiffy in the bank.
Tiffy. Well, she is Tiffy
Right.
in the bank right now.
Mhm.
But what I was going to say is, do we see, like, and I don't want to go to the dissension route, but I also don't want to see the traditional stab in the back, and because we all know that Nia's going to know that Tiffy holds the briefcase,
Oh yeah.
so she's going to see it coming regardless. Do we see Tiffy say Mania or the Rumble?
Well, see, this
I'm
is
cashing in on whoever's winning.
This is where I'm going with this, though. So Nia continues to hold the title till like again, let's say February. Nia gets all excited because she's got herself a top tier match at WrestleMania. She's so jacked. She's so happy about it. Tiffy takes it away from her.
Yeah. See, I don't want to see that predictability again. I'd like to see Nia have that top tier match at Mania.
She will still have that top tier match at Mania.
And Tiffy cash in. But I don't want I'd rather see Tiff say, like, I'm cashing in on whoever. Because this is designed because Tiffy's already over and she is a fan favorite.
Tiffy turns heel in my storyline. Though.
Oh, see, this is where, because from everything I've been hearing and reading, this is for them to turn her face.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
they're going to go the opposite way, turn Nia face.
Yeah, they turn her heel. Nia becomes this sympathetic baby face. So she's got this dream that she wants to headline WrestleMania, as every wrestler really should have. Women's tag titles are on the line next, by the way. Okay, so she's got this dream to headline WrestleMania. She's carrying the title to WrestleMania. Tiffy turns on her because Nia doesn't know who she's going to who she's going to face. Because let's say a Raw woman wins the Royal Rumble. Tiffy cashes in on her, takes the title from her, dashing Nia's dreams of headlining WrestleMania. However, Nick Aldis signs her, and Nia gets a rematch against Tiffy at WrestleMania. Then she still gets that big tier match at Mania. They both get a big tier match at Mania.
Right.
I love that we can do long-term booking now and just not think like 3 months in advance, like how we used to under Vince.
Right.
Because when it was under Vince, it was like every month, hot shot the title to this guy.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, like, I am a big fan of these longer title reigns. Now, do we need another 4-year reign like we just had? No. But in these, ideally a 9-month reign is perfect.
But even you guys would remember in the Attitude Era, it felt like every 3 months we were getting a new champion.
Well, yeah, but then you go to the Ruthless Aggression Era and it was every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When they were running 24 pay-per-views and running one every week or every 2 weeks.
And then there's a WCW. Every week there was a new champion. Every hour there was a new champion.
Oh, we called that the TV title.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me, gentlemen.
It's the OMD locker room visit. I don't have the graphic yet. I gotta move that over to here. Bubba, what are you making of the show that we're getting tonight so far?
So far, it's been hit and miss.
It's been pretty middle of the road so far. And
yeah, it's very hit and miss for me.
It's not a bad thing, though.
No, I mean, no, because they're setting up.
They're setting up
tomorrow night.
For tomorrow night and after SummerSlam now.
Yeah, they're continuing the story, getting stories going or continue them for after SummerSlam. So it's the atypical, what do they call it? Going home match.
Right.
Matches or show or whatever. Show. So it is what it is. I'm enjoying what they are doing for the most part.
I'm going to be a little bit selfish here, and I like Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, but the editor and me really wants Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to win the tag belts tonight, just so I don't have to re-edit the SmackDown intro, because I still haven't gotten around to doing that.
That's why I don't do that.
I love editing.
So Toxic Gaming coming in, Pinches from Energy Rock Radio has said so far SmackDown has been okay.
Yeah, and we were just saying it's pretty middle of the road. It's your standard go home. But right now we just got this match started off with a bang, and I'm loving, once again, I'll say this, I said this earlier, but I'm loving the tag team tandemness that we're getting between Jade and Bianca right now. Like, it feels like each week, it feels more and more each week that they are becoming a legitimate tag team and not just two women who are thrown together.
Right.
Now, to me, it's more authentic. That week by week, they're becoming more and more. First they were together because they're friends. They wanted to tag team together.
Yeah.
Now the next week it was this little bit changed. Now they're starting to look a lot alike, where they're both wearing gold, and the dark color and all that. They're starting to become more of a unit than just two friends.
And in this case, they're both wearing animal print with the gold.
I was going to say it's very reminiscent of Sheamus and Cesaro as the Bar, who, yes, they got thrown together after a best of 7 series and were told, okay, no, you guys get the tag team title shot.
Yeah.
Toxic, again, saying he's got Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, the unholy union, retaining.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants that too, but as I said, the editor in me wants Jade and Bianca to win just so I don't have to re-edit our intro for our show.
Right. See, I want to see the unholy union because they didn't get used for a year when they were drafted to Raw.
Right.
Now they've been given this opportunity, and this whole situation is putting relevance on the women's tag team titles, regardless of who may come up from NXT, regardless of who may return in terms of former champions, regardless of how strong the women's division is.
Yeah, which is getting very, very strong as we speak.
Yeah, and let's call this out here. But when Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre won the tag titles, Jade Cargill and Bianca were not pinned in that one. They were the last women's tag team champions, as we know. Yep. And I'm going to use this the words "the last" as a segue to promote something coming August 10th on CBRS Entertainment.
I've been on quite the adventure, little brother.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
Why the hell are we smuggling an infected girl? If I get into trouble down there, you make every shot count. It's got everything to do with that little girl.
And we're back. I think, Bubba, that's the first time you saw that trailer.
Yeah, dude, that was wow. What game is that?
The Last of Us.
Is that like the newest one?
It's actually going to be the entire series. I'm going to be playing the first one, the DLC game, which was left behind, and part 2. Part 2 is the newest one.
Holy cow, that looks intense, dude.
It's one of those games that just drives your emotions.
Is it? That's good. I like that.
Yeah, it plays with you hard. Oh, geez, the whole hour. Okay. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been looking around for something that was missing. And usually when I do it, when I get started a show, I
I did it again.
yeah, I didn't do anything because I was looking for something. How's it going, Mr. Parrish? But for the last hour, I've been looking for my other drink of Dr. Pepper. It was sitting right beside me the whole entire friggin' time.
There you go, buddy.
Good evening, Parrish. How we doing tonight, brother? I hope you're having an amazing time on your vacation in North Kakalaki.
Okay, there's one thing that worried me coming into this match, but I'm actually liking now because I was really worried that we were going to get like Jade and Bianca just dominating Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn, but we're not getting that, and I'm happy to see that.
Right?
Nice. So for the next CWE show, if I'm off, I'm going to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to see if my daughter would like to come with me.
Right.
And we're going to ask the girlfriend's 2 boys if they want to come.
Nice.
The 2 older ones.
I'll let you know when.
Huge
And
leg.
as Mr. Best
I'm
has
lagging
lagged
out.
out. In all likelihood, now I will be there to do commentary.
I was
Cool.
okay. That's cool. That's the one question I had because I did offer it to either one of you two. But now, Bubba, I'm also reaching out to you too because I ran into a certain Vinny Da Vinci the other day.
Okay.
And he's asked me to reach out to him about getting tickets to sell. So if you need tickets, once I get them from Vinny, reach out. You can come to me and I'll have them.
Awesome. I'll need 2 adult and 3 kids.
Yeah.
VIP preferably.
Before that happens, so I need to talk to Carl about tickets because I think he said something about me getting tickets to me as well. So
Yeah.
You're just going to be busy, bro.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take from Vinny and after Carl has given me tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I hear you.
Well, as it is now, Sudbury getting the NHL preseason game.
That makes
Ottawa
absolutely
and
no sense to
Pittsburgh.
me.
Why is it not Elliott Lake?
Because
There-
Elliott Lake's arena will not be ready to go.
It is. There's a lot of structural damage to that arena, and they're trying so hard to fix it. Now, here's something I want to correct everybody on Sue today about this because on the comments they were like, "Oh, Sudbury's going to get the money now." No, Sudbury is not getting the money. They're only getting the game. Elliott Lake is still getting the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just. In personal opinion, they should have just tore that place down instead of trying to fix it.
Yeah, 'cause
It's done.
that arena is almost 60 years old.
Yeah. But Sudbury will be hosting the game and not us. So I actually went on the website to go see about Evanescence in this moment and Skillet. And the cheapest tickets are the lawn tickets at $85. So sitting well above the actual crowd, and anything down where I would want to be is $140 and up.
Holy smokes.
And if I'm going to pay $85 US to sit on a lawn, I'm going to do it when I go to Grand Rapids and get 28 bands for 2 days as opposed to 3 for a night.
Right.
Well, I kind of get that pricing because look at the names of those bands, really.
But at the same time,
I went and saw Five Finger Death Punch, Pop Evil, and 10 Years for 35 US sitting on that lawn.
But how big are Pop Evil and 10 Years compared to Evanescence, In This Moment, and Skillet? All bands who are still currently popular in the metal industry.
So is Pop Evil.
Right. But so how long ago did you go see Pop Evil?
That was a number of years ago.
So they were probably on the rise at that point.
No, they were. I want to say it was the album before Footsteps.
trying to remember when that came out, actually. But in the grand scheme of things, because in this moment, Skillet and Evanescence also managed to break the popularity out of the metal scene as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm not going to pay that much money to try and drive 3 hours there and 3 hours back in a day.
That's understandable.
3 hours where? Sudbury?
Mount Pleasant.
No, Mount Pleasant.
Oh, Mount Pleasant. Yeah, no, that's. If I had my passport, I could drive one way for you, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, so I can't, so I won't. That's awesome.
Parrish saying best shaves his head and his brains. Yep.
Yeah, if only Parrish really knew like what's been going on with me in the last week or so.
Yeah,
It's been a bit insane for me.
It's been hellacious.
I did get a date, by the way, OMD, and I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Bow.
Just a reminder,
But-
ladies and gentlemen, this is my last show for another 2 weeks as I am leaving tomorrow to go and pick up my boy.
But on a programming note, there will be still a turnbuckle talk this week. I can say that officially now.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of that, OMD, I spoke to your sister this afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, she left a message on
August.
yeah. And so I messaged her to say thank you for the support and everything like that, you know?
Nice. I haven't even heard from my sister.
Right. Did you guys just see that commercial?
No,
The
sorry,
movie
I
that's
didn't.
coming out. Badlands.
Oh, Borderlands.
August
yeah.
or Borderlands. August 9th.
How fitting is that considering OMD, we recently did an episode. Well, I recently did an episode of Borderlands on the PlayStation Showcase.
Oh, you did that when I was away in my last 2 week stretch.
Yeah. Which,
But
by
yes,
the way,
This
that was as much as I liked playing Borderlands for everybody. In my personal opinion, that was probably the worst episode of PlayStation Showcase because everything that went wrong in that episode did go wrong.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's because OMD wasn't there and being able to bounce and ask you questions. And
No, it was what happened. My laptop, the laptop I use for the game capture, shut off on me right in the middle of the stream. I was lucky because this laptop is an older laptop than the one I'm using right now, and so it takes a little bit longer sometimes for it to turn on. I was lucky that it was actually a lot faster, and it realized it must have realized, oh yeah, he's doing a show. Let's get this thing turned on faster.
How long does SmackDown usually go for?
2 hours.
yeah.
So we're getting ready for the main event right now,
Yes.
Okay. I know
which is
Raw's way different. I haven't been here in a while to watch
Yeah.
SmackDown, so
Did we get a
Busy.
finish on the Jade and Bianca match?
uh-oh.
we'll find out here in a minute.
I'm going to
I can't
assume
remember.
so because there's a lot of Michael Cole stuff going on. Let's go to the results and see what's going on.
And that is because Michael Cole has signed a new contract.
Well,
Did he? Good.
Oh, Toxic saying it was a DQ finish.
okay, thank you, Toxic, for that. So a DQ finish, understandable, because I think we want to further what's going on with Jade and Bianca and the tag title scene. You want to keep those contenders as strong as possible for Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn.
Are they putting the U.S. title match on the Countdown show?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I just seen that quick graphic they had up. I was like,
So here's okay. Yeah, I saw that graphic too, Bubba. But here's something I just thought about. I believe the halfway part of the show is actually going to be the Jelly Roll performance.
Could be.
yes.
I was also thinking maybe they use that to maybe they do it like they did a number of years ago at WrestleMania 18, where they had Saliva open the show, did a couple of matches, Drowning Pool played a song, and then both bands played out their respective.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, Toxic said Blair Davenport interfered.
Yeah, she's trying to lay her claim on a lot of things going on in the women division over on SmackDown these days.
You know what? I like it because you've got that history between Blair Davenport, B. Priestley, with Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn from not only NXT UK, but their time prior to that on the European wrestling scene. And you've got Naomi, who is friends with Bianca and Jade. So,
Six-woman tag match next week?
Six-woman tag, yep.
So we haven't talked about this match yet, but Braun Breaker IC title with Sami Zayn. Who do you guys got?
Breaker.
I had Breaker.
I've been bouncing back and forth on this one. And I said Sammy a couple of days ago. I'm ready for Breaker to win a title. So I think right now I'm going to go Breaker.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to change my prediction before even tomorrow too again.
I was going to say, because you had Breaker on Tuesday.
I know, but I had Sammy on Monday as well. But I've been it's so hard to predict like what's going on with these matches because I know it's been 2 years since Hunter has taken over, but I still can't figure out his booking pattern.
Right. I'm just checking online here because typically they do announce the official opening match and the rundown of the card, but they haven't announced it yet.
I don't want to know that, to be honest with you.
But we do have Zilla Fatu is in Cleveland. We know he is there to defend his title from another promotion in an independent show. Mark Henry's son. Sadly, Matt and Jeff have met with WWE officials today in Cleveland. Yep.
Are you sure that's just not them maybe saying hello and you know what I mean?
No, it said have met with WWE officials.
Right, but that still could mean that they were just, maybe going for a cup of coffee with them, because the word meet could mean anything, And I know you're thinking of the Bully Ray sense with the whole Shane McMahon meeting Tony Khan thing, because Bully Ray came out and said there's more than meets the eye with that.
Yeah. The nature of the meeting remains undisclosed, but the reporter said that content was filmed with the Hardys, possibly for future release. And Matt and Jeff are also scheduled to appear at a TNA wrestling event tomorrow night in Tampa. But we also know that they have expressed interest in returning and doing an NXT run.
Sorry, say that again. I was responding to Carl's thing here.
Matt and Jeff have a TNA show in Tampa tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But they have also expressed an interest in returning and doing an NXT program.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, wait, yeah.
I wasn't putting any stock into Tony Khan and Shane McMahon's secret meeting or whatever it was considered to be. Outside of this is Shane McMahon meeting Tony Khan and they are talking wrestling. doesn't have to mean anything more than that.
Exactly. So the same thing can be said about the Hardys.
It can be, but when it comes to the Hardys, given what we know they want, and it really wouldn't surprise me to see Hunter sign them so that they can do a little run in NXT and get their Hall of Fame induction.
True enough, yeah.
Right, but even with the deal they got right now, I know they're kind of free agents right now, but with their paper appearance deals with TNA, I'm sure it could just be a paper appearance deal that they do with NXT as well, and maybe they interfere in something on behalf of TNA.
Right.
Finally, she finally did it. She finally customized her Money in the Bank.
It's actually pretty cool looking. I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
Although I gotta say, last week her attempt at customizing it was actually pretty funny too. She totally went red green on it and duct taped the thing.
Yeah, no, I know that was funny. Oh, look who's here.
I really miss Parrish and his Chelsea Green statement, and I'm not going to even attempt it because I don't have the voice to do it.
I would, but I know for a fact I'd get a text message from somebody going, "What the heck was that?"
And here we go. It's main event time, boys.
Get it on like Donkey Kong.
Do we have any predictions on this tag title match?
Oh, geez.
It's hard to pick OMD, to be honest.
It is, because I really like DIY, because DIY, they just won the tag titles. And I do like the idea of Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu going after the belts, but at the same time, I feel like it's too soon for them to go after the tag titles.
I am with you, and I think we're going to get another DQ finish and shenanigans. But I think we get Jimmy returning.
That's so weird, because I don't know if you do that. Do you do 2 DQ finishes back to back on a show? Because from a booker standpoint, that's just a no-no, you know?
Right. And I know what Jimmy Corderas would say tomorrow morning if he did his reffing rant on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, you're going to have Cody at some point interfere if Solo gets involved to help DIY, which you've still got Tonga Loa, so who's going to come out to counter that? And that's where I think you get Jimmy.
Well, you also got Randy and KO hovering around somewhere as well.
Are they in the arena tonight? Did they show them, interview them, or
no?
So I'm wondering if they're still playing up their injuries.
Right, but they could still be, because all they took was a Shield powerbomb. So,
right.
I mean, I can understand Randy being out longer because his history of back injuries.
Right.
But KO is the more likely candidate to return. Sorry, Bobby, you were about to say something before I jumped in.
No, it was just I don't know. Like I couldn't tell you this is what's going to happen because literally anything can happen right now.
Mm-hmm. And see that goes back to what I was just saying about Hunter and how it's hard to predict like his booking pattern.
Yeah.
Again, and then it brings it back full circle to what I was saying Monday with kayfabe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a clue anymore. We don't know. Which I like, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like the surprise again. I like the thrill of not knowing. And actually watching the show and being like, what is going to happen when we don't have a clue? Because before it was like, oh, we already know what's going to happen. So what's the point of watching it?
Right.
Or we're going to get some stupid shit shoved in our face again that we could care less about.
Yeah, like what Vinnie Mac did before all his shit happened to him.
Yep.
And this is we're seeing the commercial for what OMD was talking about, because I actually didn't know that. This is Fanatics Fest. Never mind. I thought it was WWE World, but I actually wish I could go to this too. Actually,
I know the next little while I'm going to be submitting all my paperwork for my passport. And if these guys ever come close enough, I'm gone.
I'm doing the same thing, brother. I'm looking at starting that paperwork next month. So
It's I just got to get my pictures and the $180.
or are you going for the 10-year one or whatever it is?
Yeah.
You have to, I think, start at a 5-year. I don't know if you can do the 10-year right off.
I went on the government website about a month ago and it said you can start off with 10-year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Why would they care? It's $180 in their pocket, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
My God, those belts look good on them.
Wow. Samoan boys know how to work out. Holy cow. They're built.
They also know how to fucking make good food too. And speaking of good food, you know how OMD I was going to do a noodle box on Wednesday, but didn't. I did noodle box yesterday, actually. my roommate comes out. He's like, I want to order dinner. What do you want? I'm like, I've been craving noodle box. And then he just suddenly orders it.
Nice. I like those titles so much.
I had the chicken teriyaki with chow mein noodles. It was beautiful. It was awesome. I was actually surprised at how those small bowls can fill you up.
Nice. Excuse me. Sorry about that, gentlemen.
You are excused.
I just had a thought. My brain just kicked in. There is not going to be a review preview show on Monday unless you are doing one, Mr. Best, because OMD's with this kid and I'm going to be on the road.
I more than likely will not be able to do it because I'm going to be preparing for the Raw Patrol.
Exactly.
Not to mention I've got to prepare for Tuesday morning as well at the same time. So
yeah. Okay, so just
I will see if I can coordinate something, just depending on what my kid wants to do. But maybe I can throw together and do the Raw preview review, but I won't be able to do Raw Patrol.
okay, if you're going to do that, talk to
Joe and Joe. Yep.
And
you know what? You know what? You OMD. You talk to Bulkster. I'll talk to Joe because I have to give Joe the information anyways as far as our stream stuff goes.
Right.
There you go.
I won't do it tonight. I'll talk to him tomorrow afternoon because I'm at my cutoff point where with Facebook at this point in the night. After about 9 o'clock, that's my wind down time, Bubba. And I'm like, okay, I just shut off social media, and you know what I mean?
Dude, listen, I've shut off my social media quite a few times. Ask OMB.
Yep.
The only time I don't shut off social media is if it's family messaging me. That's a completely different story.
That's different. If it's one of you boys or my girl, I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My God, I need to save some money and buy one of those belts. By the way,
Right.
just doing a visual comparison. They actually look pretty close to these titles.
They do.
Is that like the Bulldog title kind of thing?
This is the SmackDown Tag Team belt. The
They have
original
the outline.
it does have the outline. It's the original 2002 SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of have the outline look, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I like that.
So I may have found a computer desk.
Oh, I was gonna send you one that I found too, but I gotta look for it again. Yeah.
Oh, I popped in yesterday while I was at work. I went on a coffee run and I ducked into Habitat. And they had one, and it had two separate towers on each side, so I could put the monitors up and I could sit there and focus right through the middle on the shows.
That's a very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of being able to get the right vehicle to bring it home and having the people to move it. But I am also looking on Amazon to maybe get something smaller and lighter that's going to be easier to get in and around.
That's the one I found. I think I found the one that I found last night. I think I found it on Amazon. I'll look for it again because I looked for like 20 other things afterwards.
Right.
And it might have gotten lost in the shuffle.
Okay, what was the wrestling tag team that these two gentlemen, the one with the eye patch and the one in the ring, Gorillas of Destiny, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was their name in New Japan.
It was New Japan, eh? Okay. I'd love to see them be able to use that name.
So I was just thinking about this, Bubba, because I know you like to do a lot of wrestling research. And I've actually been considering getting a New Japan Pro Wrestling World subscription. If that does come to fruition, I think maybe I'll share my account with you so that you can go in and, catch some of them classic matches. I'll even share it with you, OMD, if you want it as well.
Okay.
If it does come to fruition.
And as you touched on there and alluded to, the Gorillas of Destiny, and by and large, a much bigger group in the Bullet Club. Going back to our earlier conversation, that's the other thing I find with that is the Bullet Club is just the modern version of the NWO, and it's just gotten way too big and too many members.
Okay, so here's the difference with the Bullet Club and the NWO. Yes, there is a lot of guys in the Bullet Club right now, but the way they treat stables in New Japan, they treat the stables like they're their own companies.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense why the Bullet Club has like 20 guys in it.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, and I mean, like, we've seen these split factions within the NWO, including, or not the NWO, within the Bullet Club, including the Elite.
Mm-hmm. Even with what the Good Brothers and AJ Styles over here, and Finn Balor as well.
Yep, ABC in TNA.
But that's what I like, because in New Japan, all the stables there, like I said, they're kind of treated a little differently. They're not necessarily like, they don't come out like they're the Four Horsemen or whatever. And sometimes they do, but they're treated like almost like I said, their own companies within an overarching company, if that makes any sense. At least that's what I gathered from playing. Oh my god, I forgot the name of that. Fyre Pro Wrestling on PS4. One of these days, I should showcase that on our PlayStation Showcase.
Do it.
That would be cool. Because I've never heard of it.
It's a wrestling game, obviously, but you get to play with multiple different promotions in one game, and I think that's pretty cool. Like when I got it, I immediately made my guy and put him in New Japan.
Right.
That's awesome.
There's a really round-looking dude in front row that kind of reminds me of Bill DeMott for some reason.
Just random.
He looks like Hugh Morris.
I was going to say, do you find that humorous?
Oh my god!
And
Because Jacob Fatu's moonsault is no laughing matter.
It actually is. I've been calling it the BME because it's almost the same thing as the best moonsault ever. Almost the same thing.
Yeah,
except he doesn't hit the bottom rope. He hits the second, then the top, and then does it.
Yeah. Whereas Tiffy's
is the best.
Is the BM.
Yeah. And this is just a banger of a tag title match again.
Yes, it is.
These four men, man. Actually, the entire WWE roster. I mean,
whoa, that was a close 3 count. Holy.
Every single one of them, they're firing on all cylinders. Even on main event, they're firing on all cylinders, and those are like the lower card wrestlers.
Right?
I shouldn't say lower card because there's some mid card, and there was a couple of main event wrestlers that I've seen on that show.
And there's a lot of the up and comers and people getting their test matches from NXT,
like JC Jane just this past week.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to get some Jacob Fatu merch, I think.
You know what I could 100% see them doing? If Jacob Fatu ever turns babyface, I can see them releasing a wig of his hairstyle.
Yeah.
For kids to buy.
That would be cool. He totally gives me the vibe of what was their name?
I get Head Shrinkers vibe off of him.
Yeah.
That's Roman's dad and uncle, eh?
Yes.
That's
no.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Wild Samoans.
Oh yes. No, sorry. Yes, it was Samu and Fatu.
That's who I'm thinking.
AKA Rikishi and
Rikishi and Samu, or Rikishi and the Barbarian, were the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was
Fatu.
Samu and the Barbarian, because that was when
Fatu
went to being the street guy from San Fran.
Nope. Data is going to correct you. It was Samu left because he wasn't happy that they decided to bring Lou Albano in to manage the Head Shrinkers. Kayfabe said he was sick and had to retire from in-ring, which he really didn't. He went to work the Indies in the 90s. So they brought in the Barbarian to team with Fatu. And then they did this whole stupid thing where Fatu had to wear boots, and he was totally uncomfortable with wearing boots in the ring and ended up losing like every match. Holy crap, that that dive into the table, man, it always worries me because they always look like they're going to smack their chin off the table.
And then, of course, we had Fatu's other character, the Sultan.
Yeah, when he was managed by Bob Backlund and the Iron Sheik. What a strange combination that was.
Wow, that's weird. This is a hell of a match right now.
Holy Jacob, man. Holy Christ. You are firing on. Wow. I just got the finish,
shook
boys.
that off like it never even happened. Holy smokes. Ouch. That was a hell of a kick to the face. Samoan drop. Oh, sorry, OMD. That's intense.
You're just saying moves that you're not really spoiling any major things that are happening.
Holy, like, he just gives me that vibe of Roman's old man and his uncle. Like, just no brain, straight power. Just get out of my way.
I get a wow. The more I watch Jacob Fatu, the more I see Umaga, actually.
Right.
That too, yes.
Especially with that whole, like, when he just gets that angered look and he puts his arms out and screams, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm going to ask, because we do know about the history with the Tonga twins, as we'll call them.
Okay.
Being former tag champs in Japan, do we see Bloodline 2.0 utilize the Freebird rule?
Only if Solo doesn't win the title tomorrow night.
Well, I was going to say, do we still see the other three, Jacob, Tama, and Tonga, utilize the Freebird rule?
Well, that could happen too. But for anybody who's just watching us, the Bloodline have won the tag team titles off DIY. I got to assume, OMD, you did get the finish. But what a finish. What a finish that was.
And it was a clean victory for Bloodline 2.0. We're not getting... There's no shenanigans. We didn't get Cody running out.
There was a little interference from the guys that were standing around it, but it wasn't anything major.
Yeah, because Solo and Tonga were still there in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's one set of titles now. Let's. What else do we need? Do you need the U.S. title and the heavyweight title now?
Yep. And Toxic did say he called it. He liked DIY, but it was Bloodline 2.0 for the W. So yes, you did call it, Toxic.
Yeah, so I think the reason why they did this too is because they want Solo to come in and look dominant in his match against Cody tomorrow night. So that's part of the reason why they had to pull this the trigger on Bloodline winning the tag team titles tonight.
Yeah.
At least that's my theory on it.
Right.
But on that note, boys, we've come to the end of the show. Overall, what did you think of the last hour of the show? I asked Bubba about the first hour. OMD, what did you think about the whole show? I'm going to start with Bubba first, though, before you go ahead and say something.
Your atypical take it home show for me. Had good points, had some points that kind of dragged out because we're telling stories now and we're just not quite used to that yet. And all in all, though, good show. I'm looking forward to listening to the pay-per-view tomorrow. So, wasn't bad.
Yeah. OMD, your thoughts?
Very solid show. Much better go-home show than Raw delivered on Monday, in my opinion. And it was that gradual, slow build to the end. But I mean, your last two matches, the two tag title matches, were absolute fire. Although each of us missed the ending of the women's tag title match.
That's okay. We were deep in conversation trying to get and to entertain our viewers. So
that we were. So Very solid show. I am excited for SummerSlam tomorrow, even though I have to miss it. I will try and find a way to watch it on Sunday or Monday during the day when I am off and just relaxing.
All right, and make sure that if you do that, maybe you use the PLE Patrol for your commentary needs for tomorrow's show. But on that note, guys, let's get those old socials out, starting with you, OMD.
All right, people, if you want to find me, catch me on the Book of Faces, Daniel Horisic, on HRYCYK, on Snapchat, One Man Dynamic, capitals on OM&D, on Twitch at OMD17, and on Discord at OMD6370. And when we hit Bubba's, you can catch me on those links too.
All right, Bubba, and what are those links?
Right. That would be YouTube at Bubba OMD. Again, that's YouTube at Bubba OMD. And you can catch me over on the Twitch, Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. We do a lot of streaming over there, but 90% of it is done on YouTube. Check us out.
All right, and here's my army of socials that you can find me at youtube.com at CBRS Entertainment, twitch.tv, CBRS_entertainment, threads.net at CBestFilms83, facebook.com, chris.best83, tiktok.com, CBRS.entertainment. And what are those famous words that one? Oh, before we do that, actually, let's show off all the shows that we've got right here on Turnbuckle Studios. And OMD, what are those famous words that we like to go out on these days?
In the immortal words of our esteemed director of operations, one Carl Carafel, ladies and gentlemen, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. From all of us here at the Boar's Nest, to those of you out there, wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more thought of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all, in the afterglow, in the afterglow. Whoa! It all started with the passion, it all sounded like a dream. Remember how you kept on laughing, now you're trapped in your own skin. The anxiety